Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Chaos Child, and we are going to finish Yamazoe's first ending, and then we'll start getting all of the other endings. So this is probably going to be like 2 minutes, and we could have done it in the last part, but that one was going so far over, I was like, let's just wrap it up. So let's see how long. And the days passed. Many springs and many summers, and many autumns came. The days passed, more like the years. All right, I'll be off.
Bye. Take care.
The weather's nice again today. Let's go, Yuki. There's a lot of people over there, so we'll go this way. Or would you rather we went over there? Got it. We'll go over there. Shortly after, Yuki's body had recovered to the point where we could take her off life support. But it was only her body that recovered. She didn't talk or laugh. She just stared into space like a doll. Her mind had gone someplace far away and still hadn't come back. Kunasato said it probably never would. And she was probably right. My one wish was that wherever she was, she'd found the world she'd always wanted. All I could do was pray and spend each day with her. It was the only way I could atone.
Oh, Taku!
I turned around just in time to see Sarika run up to us. Hey.
Going for another walk?
Yeah.
Cool. The weather is nice.
Sarika smiled at Yuki and then looked up at the bright sky. Sorry I haven't been able to hang out much lately.
Huh? I don't mind, as long as you're okay with things.
Sarika looked at me.
You're okay with things, right?
Of course, the best thing would be for Yuki to get better, but that was too much hope for now. So I'd do what I could for her. Yeah, I guess. This was the path I'd chosen.
Okay, that's good enough for me then.
Sarika smiled, satisfied at my answer. We're gonna ever say what happened to fucking, like, Ito? We just pretend that didn't, like, you know what I mean?
Alright, I'll be going. See you later, Yuki. Ciao!
She said a word she probably picked up from someone else and left. I watched her go, and then we started to walk again. We took each step slowly and carefully. Oh, right. So then Yuto... And then Dad... No matter what I said, there was never an answer. But I kept talking, and waiting for the day when she'd someday come back. There you go, that was... Oh no, okay. Oh. I stopped in front of a small store. I'd spotted a planter. Aww, the CG is so pretty but kind of sad, like. And I'd seen a certain plant lined up in front of the others at the florist. A Schefflera. Schefflera? Whatever it is. That fucking plant! It was the plant I'd given to Yuki as a present for a room.
It made me happy.
I thought I heard her voice and quickly turned to look at her. But I just imagined it. Yeah, that's not... And then... Yuki? Eyes like glass beads quivered for a moment. And a single tear ran down her cheek. Yuki? She didn't speak. Her expression didn't change. But still, she was there. And someday... Hey, Yuki... The world was constantly growing, expanding, and evolving. Even if it left the two of us behind, I'd spend my days with her, and believe that someday she'd come back to us. Until then, I'll spend my life taking care of you, so that someday you can be happy. I didn't know if that day would ever come, but until then, I'd keep believing, always. That's so sad. Like, I know it's weird, because they, like, put these endings into, like, the red at the end, and you're like, that feels like a bad ending, but it's not. That's the real ending, and it just... This fucking game is just depressing, okay? It just, like, overall, everything is fucking sad. You know? I mean, I guess we technically could have finish that one, but let's just go back up and start our bad endings. So, load, where did I save? On the beginning of her thing. I think it was this. Yeah, this is this one. This is her first chapter, so we're just gonna get our first bad ending. But it's so weird because, like, now that you say it, it's like, it hurts. There's so much blood in my mouth. I can't breathe. And, like, all this, the pain. And it's like, and then it's like, oh no, we killed her. Well, that's why you didn't see it coming, because they say there's so much blood in my mouth. Like, did we, like, bite our tongue or something? But it sounds like we're coughing up blood and all this, and, like, we got stabbed, but no, we didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of a sudden, you're like, wait a minute. Yeah. Huh. That's why we didn't see it coming that we stabbed her, because the way it's written doesn't make any sense then. Anyway. So let's skip. Die. You're gonna die too. We probably will, actually. Die, die, die. Ito, stop it. This is our first bad ending, by the way. I tried to scream, but my mouth was no longer capable of forming words. The only sound I made was the sound of blood gurgling out of my mouth. See? It's like stuff like this, because it's like, they give you that full impression that, but then it's like, but we stabbed her, but there's blood gurgling out of our mouth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Soon, Yamazoe's scream stopped, and I felt something land on top of my body. Evil cackles. Like, yeah, okay, that was a fast one. I told you that was gonna happen, though. We kind of knew that her first bad ending was gonna be like, super freaking, like, was gonna be like, we died. But in that case, she died, so. Alright, so let's go back to this one again. But now, to get our bad ending 2, we skip this. We don't choose one. Okay. My vision began to quickly turn black. I could feel my heart pounding fast, but my lungs must not have been working anymore because it was no longer getting any fresh oxygen. And then I saw nothing at all. And the moment when I crossed the boundary into death was upon me. And then we wake back up here. And then we're gonna have to skip through the whole entire route, though. So this might take like 2 parts because we're gonna skip a lot. Because we have to do all 3 of these, because we have to skip that one and then do positive, negative, and then we do positive, positive, skip, and then we do skip, skip, positive. And then we do skip, negative, positive. Like, so we've got to go through every single one of these. And that's the only thing that kind of sucks, is never... Well, okay, I guess we should have saved at each choice. Because bad end 3, we do the last one. Oh, I wasn't really thinking about that. Okay, well, here we go. I'm going to have to save again, because to get the 3 of the different endings, we skip the first one. Okay. And then we change the second one as different. And maybe we can for bad ending 3, maybe we can go back to one of our prior saves. Because we just need to know where that third choice was. Because we do 2 positives and we skip the last one, and that gets her bad ending 3, so. So when we get to the second choice, I'll save, because this way it'll be easier. We don't have to skip as much. But, okay, so this one, oh wait, this is the second one, so hold on. Let's save this. Oh, that's true, we do have a quick save. Alright, we got quick saves, I kind of forgot about that, so let's just save this here. That's true, we can always do that. So this one, we do positive. Okay. And then we do negative for the third one to get our second bad ending. Okay. Although, I don't know how many quick saves go back, so Hmm. Yeah. Huh. I don't remember if we saved. Right, because it was in the cafe where we had our third delusion. And I don't know if we saved there, but actually it doesn't take too long to skip through because we skip, like, you know what I mean? The endings, I'm sure, come off of here, so. No, I didn't need anything else. Okay. Okay, someone comes in. Who is that? I turned around. Oh, interesting. I froze in place when I saw who it was. The temperature in my body dropped rapidly and my heart turned to ice. It was her. Riko Haida, the pyrokinetic I thought was dead. My stomach started to shake from the tension. The terror dried up my throat and all the nerves in my body seemed to short out. My knees were shaking. I need to run. Or she'd kill me. She'd kill me. Yep, now we're dead. But the sheer hatred in her eyes overwhelmed me to the point where I couldn't move a single muscle. I couldn't move. Everything was stuck in place. My body wasn't moving, even though I told it to. It's all your fault. Die. The woman in front of me said nothing, but it felt like I could hear her whispering to me. Ugh! A scream burst from my throat, and the next second... Yep. Ah! It's not really convincing when I scream, but I don't really want to scream in the middle of an apartment complex, so my body burst into flames. Strangely, there wasn't that much pain, but my brain was telling me clearly that I was in mortal danger. There was the terrible smell of scorching protein and burning hair. Burns do a lot more damage to the body than people think. Burns over just half of the body were enough to kill you. From the intensity of the heat, I could tell that over 80% of my body had been burned. And they were probably third-degree burns, too. Third-degree burn. A burn that damages all layers of the skin as well as the tissue underneath. Second-degree and higher burns require immediate hospitalization. The third-degree burn was bad enough that instead of pain, you felt nothing at all. There was no way to save me. The pyrokinetic's flames were burning me alive. I rolled around and tried to put out the fire as best I could, but it was simply the last impulsive struggle of my survival instincts. The fire was so hot that all the oxygen around me had vanished, and I was starting to suffocate. Why was this happening? I thought she was dead. So why... As everything started to fade away, I could see Yuki walking up to me, crying and sniffling. In her hand was the beautiful dye sword. The last thing I saw was the way it shone in the light of the fire. And then we died. Bad end too. Yeah, okay. Let's see if we could, Let's go to quick load and see if we have that one. So, that was just today. And you can see that this is probably going up. This is like November at this point, and I'm recording this in August. Like, this might be it, because this is the only... Did I record that yesterday, though? I don't remember. I think I did. I think I actually just started this route. I've recorded it in 2 days, but that has to be it. So that has to be the first time we went through this game. So let's go here and see. Because for Bad Ending 3, you do positive, positive, which we would have done, and then this we would skip. So... let's see what happens. Of course, this was the entrance to a store, and there were always going to be footsteps of people coming in and out. I ignored it and started to walk forward. What the fuck was that? Ta-da! Suddenly, I lost my balance. I was overtaken with surprise. My body was flailing backwards. I could guess the cause. The person had come up to me from behind and grabbed me by the collar, then flung me backwards. Feet out. I fell down with tremendous speed. Did I just literally fall down the stairs and die? Ah! My back slammed down in the middle of the stairs. I bounced off and fell more, and this time I hit my neck. Gah! My body writhed at the bottom of the stairs. Well, this is fucked up. Strangely, I didn't feel any pain. My brain was emitting chemicals to dull the pain. But I could tell. Not only had I fractured my skull, but I'd heard the sound of my neck snapping. I could tell. But there was no saving me now. The flame of my life had been burning so brightly a moment ago, and now it was about to be blown out so easily. I mean, for fucking real. But why? Why did this happen to me? And who was it who was staring at me from the top of the stairs? Doubts swirled in my mind as I began to cough up blood. Who is standing there? And then the whole world turned black. We literally just fell down the stairs and died. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. So this is the one where we just saved it, right? Yes. And then we skip this one, and then we do positive for the last one, unless we get bad ending 4. Okay. So this is the second choice. We also skipped this one. Maybe people could sense the light of my inner genius, no matter how hard I tried to hide it. Okay. I carefully cut open the top of the letter and took a deep breath. I've always been watching you. I love you, Miyashiro. Would you please be my boyfriend? But when I looked at the bottom of the letter, I froze. There was an 11-digit number, and next to it, I'll be waiting for your answer. A message. A phone call, huh? A phone call was a very dark and scary thing for me. But she told me her feelings and was waiting for my answer. As a gentleman, I had to respond. And there was still a chance that it was a prank Ito and Sarika were playing on me. I needed to make the call just to be sure. I carefully entered the number on the paper into the phone and tapped the call icon with shaking hands. I waited a while, but there was no sign that she'd pick up. Just as I went to hang up... Okay. And then we do positive for the last one, but then we still end up with a bad ending, which is interesting. So we'll probably get all of our endings today, because we're going to get this one in the next few minutes, and then, you know. I doubt the Another Sky end, which is the one, we're going to be skipping a lot. Anyway, we do positive for this one, which we've already done. But if we did any of the negative, we'd probably fall down the damn stairs again, or get burned by the pyrokinetic. So now we're chasing her. Okay. Cops come. Same thing. We get home. We're trying to call her. We're falling asleep. We were starting to remember. Interesting. We remember the stabbing. She's here. She's like, no, don't leave me. We're thinking about staying. Is this the bad end where we stay? Okay, so hold on a second. Everything started to fade away. Okay, so this is like, that's that. Okay, this is where we're on. Okay. Yeah, that's right. If Yuki would make me happy, that was fine with me. I'm glad. A sweet, gentle darkness slowly enveloped me. If something bad happened, I could just look away. I could hide myself in my own little world and just not look at it. Trying to deal with things would only make me miserable. What was wrong with that? There was nothing in my life worth going through all that for. I could just let things pass me by. If I could have fun and be happy, what could be better? Everything would be fine. I mean, I know, when they phrase it like this, it sounds delusional and crazy, but sometimes you just want to quit, okay? Just want to live in a dream world where everything's happy. Just shut up and let me. Now we know the truth, and we're just going to disappear, but, like, we won't know any different. I'm just saying. I could live here. Yuki was saying she'd do everything she could for me. I couldn't turn down her kindness. This was fine. Everything was fine. It was just fine.
Yes, everything's fine.
Everything's fine. In the end, the world was mine anyway. It was only what I saw, what I felt, what I knew. So I could just do what I wanted. I mean, now we know the truth that we're in her head and like whatever, so it's not fine, but like it's fine. It wasn't bothering anyone. I could just forget everything and let Yuki take care of it all. And then I fell. I fell toward an infinite abyss, toward a happy world that only belonged to me. Forever and ever.
Good night, Takuru. Sweet dreams.
It's funny because you're like, oh, and then they're like, bad end. And you're like, what? That seemed pleasant, though. Yes, and then the another sky ending. So this is the other. I don't want to say it's not a bad ending, but it's also I wouldn't say a good ending because the Dream Sky end, which is the first one we got, which is the required ending. That's the quote unquote true ending, I guess. That wasn't really happy either. You know, could have been worse. And then we just did all the bad endings, and then the another sky end is the like I guess alternate, not good but normal. I wouldn't call it a good ending, but it's not a bad ending either. Which everybody else had bad ends, and then their quote unquote true ending, and then this has got another alternate, but it's not the true ending, but it's not I wouldn't say good ending, but it's not a bad ending. You know what I mean? Anyway. We're supposed to do negative here. Okay. So this will be different. Anyway, if I read it, I might be able to tell what it said. I couldn't get the sticker on the back off easily, so I carefully sliced it off with a pair of scissors and took out the pile of folded papers from inside. What's this? Copy paper? Why would someone stuff this into a cute envelope like that? Was she going for Gap Moe? Like, this is cute to me because it's bizarre and unexpected? But what does it say? But the words on the paper were printed from a computer, not handwritten like the outside. I was a little disappointed, but that was fine. What was important was what they said. Let's see. Dear Takuru Miyashiro, I've watched you for a long time. That was normal. But it was too painful to just watch and not act, so I've gathered all my courage together to write this letter. What I want to tell you is extremely simple. I'm in love with you. I have been for a long time. I love how straight your hair is. I love how you're not too athletic and toned, but not too thin. I love how intelligent you look in your glasses. I love your cool, unemotional eyes. I love the high bridge of your nose. I love what a great leader you are in the newspaper club. It's really weird knowing that Yuki's the one who wrote this. Because, like, I mean, rude phone. I'm busy. Like, I know that she's technically a 14-year-old girl, you know, and we know that she just changed her, like, she stopped herself from growing because everyone's like, you should just stay like this forever. But, and I mean, so she's still mentally a 14-year-old girl, but at the same time, she's kind of not. Because she basically has lived in, like, it doesn't matter if she was 30. She's lived in a basement and knows nothing of the world past when she was, like, 8. So, like, and her upbringing even to that point was a little fucked up and weird. So, like, she's not real, you know what I mean? So it's a little weird. It's like, a game. I mean, you have to look at it like, oh, okay, like, it's like a kid crush. When you're like, I'm gonna marry my teacher someday when I grow up. And you're like, 5 or some shit. And, like, you're like, oh, that's cute. But it's a little weird how she wrote this love letter, like, you're this, and you're intelligent, look at your glasses, you're cool and emotional eyes. And it's like, that's not a, like, love letter but I mean, I guess, look, I don't know. It just seems a little mature for someone like Yuki, is all I'm saying. So it's a little awkward, but. I love it when you smile. It's moe to me. It's moe-kyun. Moe-kyun. I love you, Miyashiro. I took a photo of you in secret and made it my cell phone wallpaper, and I stare at it every night. Okay, now she just sounds crazy. I picked up a piece of your hair and put it in a stuffed animal, and I hold it when I go to sleep at night. We need to run. She's gonna stab us and boil our rabbit. I'm always watching you. Always, always. I mean, that makes more sense when you know it's Yuki now, and you're like, I mean, she kind of is. I'm watching you when you get up, rub your eyes, and put on your glasses in the morning. I'm watching you when you go outside and take that first big stretch. I'm watching when you're alone, grinning and reading your copies of Cool Cat Press. I'm always watching. I'm always watching you. Always, 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 always. I watch when you sometimes have your delusions. That's right. You're always having delusions. You could say you're a prisoner of your delusions. You're trapped by a delusion of Shibuya. Something terrible will happen soon. Unless you can escape. Run. Run. Run or you'll... You'll... Lots of L's. Oh, wow, wow, oh. Because this is obviously Serica and everybody trying to get through. But it's like, What the hell is this? It's terrifying. Fear went out of her disappointment. She was a lunatic. A prisoner of my delusions? Run away? What the hell was she talking about? I mean, it's kind of, I like the way they did that. She's like, I watch you when you sleep. I watch you when you have your delusions. You're stuck in a delusion. You're trapped in a delusion of Shibuya. Like, because that's what, it's like all of a sudden that's what Serica and Kurusu are screaming to us. Like, you're just trapped in a delusion. But it went from like, I watch you have your delusions. You're in a delusion. It was such a natural progression of craziness, right? What was that? Was that a dragonfly or was it a wasp? I don't know. It was this big. She was watching me? That was a joke, right? But she knew about Cool Cat Press. She can't really... I stood up to look outside my window. Huh? What was the sensation I was feeling? What was I... That's right, I was reading that letter. Huh? The bed was covered with pink paper. It wasn't copy paper, and the writing on it was handwritten, not typed. I quickly looked through it, and it was normal. It was a normal love letter. What was that, then? Had I taken Ito's suggestion that it might be a prank a little too seriously? Still, it seemed really realistic. I calmed myself down and read through the letter again. The letter said that she wanted to date me. And then I saw it. There was an 11-digit number at the bottom of the letter. And then we call. I'll be waiting for your answer. That's what it said. A phone call, huh? I wasn't very good on the phone. I could feel my stomach clench with stress. Felt like the stress wasn't going to go away until I called. I'd rather just call now than go through all that misery. Let's do this. I spoke loudly to work on my courage and took out the phone. And then I carefully entered the number on the paper and tapped the call icon with shaking fingers. I waited a while, but there was no sign that she'd pick up. Just as I went to hang up. And then she picks up. Yuki shows up. Everybody's trying to ask us, and we're like, I'm not going to tell you, assholes. Fuck you. Not telling you. And then there's Wakui. And then all the mystery. And now we're going to get to the coffee shop. Awazaki doesn't exist. She really doesn't. None of this exists. None of this is real. And we do this one. Positive. Again, which we've already done. Again, if we didn't do a positive, we'd get burned alive or fall down the stairs, so. I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter what you choose beforehand. If you choose not to do it, you fall down the stairs, and if you choose bad, you die. Like, you're gonna get those other endings no matter what you chose. I think that defined. You know what I mean? Those 3 endings are off of that. It's just the other triggers before might also trigger different... I don't know. Okay, so then we're here, we're sleeping, we're remembering. Remembering what happened. Having conversation. She's gonna tell us, like, you need to stay here and stay, don't go back. Or maybe in the another sky end she dies. You know what I mean? Like in the dream sky, she was just... Her body was alive, but her brain was dead. But her brain wasn't really dead, because otherwise her body wouldn't be able to survive. You know what I mean? Like, she's just like her brain's functioning, it's just whatever makes her her is gone. But... Okay, so now we wake up. Where's Yuki? I sat up and asked. Kurusu and Sarika both looked away from me, lips pressed into a thin line. Just from that I could tell. Yuki was gone. In the corner of my eye, I could see the curtain separating this bed from the next. That was where Dad had been a moment ago. Yuki was there, but she was gone now. Yuki would never move again. She'd never help get dinner ready or help Dad at his work all day without a single complaint. I'd known it was going to happen. Yuki had told me. But I'd thought that there'd been some chance. So, in the Dream Sky ending, she's alive and you have that, maybe she'll come around someday because she's not gone. Like, she's gone, but she's not, maybe. In this, she's just dead. It's kind of sad. Just like how there's a 50-50 chance the cat in the box is alive. At least until you open it. I thought that just maybe I had to accept it. I had to face it. You only think the cat's alive. If there are no holes in the box and you seal up that box, that cat's gonna be dead at some point. Depends on how long it's been. I've had this box for 2 years. That cat is dead. Like, it's not a question. It's like, well, there's a 50. No, it's probably like... But...
Takeru.
My feelings overflowed. Hot tears dripped down my face. And more crying. There was nothing I could do now but cry. I mean, we did kind of kill her. I thought I could save her. This time I thought I could save her. And Yuki had seen the girl I'd witnessed at the facility so long ago, Senri Minamisawa. And this time I thought I could save her. Is that wrong? Even when she was down in that basement, Yuki had never thought of herself as sad. Maybe I was being arrogant to think I could save her. Maybe what I'd done for her was just for my own self-satisfaction. Was she ever able to feel any happiness for herself? Even a little? She said she did. I guess we have to trust her.
Thank you, Takeru.
Yuki's words echoed in my mind.
In my dreams, I was able to live the life I always wanted, even if it was just for a short time.
Thank you, she'd said at the very last moment. It was a tiny little wish, and it had only come true in her dreams. It wasn't fair. I cried for a little while after that. For Yuki. For a little girl who'd only wanted other people to be happy. Yeah. Oh, hey, you guys. In other words, you're telling me that you killed Yuki Yamazoe? Several days later, Shinjo and Kunasato came to ask me about what happened, and I told them everything. And... yes, like I just told you, I was the one who took her life, so... You want me to arrest you? Yes? I could still feel it in my hands. The feeling when I'd run her body through. I was the one who killed her. And I had to atone for it. So please arrest me. The police probably wanted to find a killer as soon as possible. That's why I thought that Shinjo would gladly put the handcuffs on me, but he's like, no, we're just gonna say Ito did it. I mean, he's already going to jail. What do you think? Impossible. Yeah. Shinjo and Kunasato were looking at each other and saying something that didn't make sense. Impossible? What does that mean? It's impossible that I killed Yuki? But I stabbed her with my own hands. I real-booted the dai sword. I was saying so, and I was the one who killed her. How could it be impossible? Oh. See? Okay. This is the thing. Right? This is what I was saying when we went back to the first choice and we were like, I was coughing up blood and everything. It's like... But technically that's true. I real-booted my dai sword, but the thing is like, did we really? Because we can fight with them. They weighed nothing, whatever. So we might have stabbed her, but we also got stabbed. But like, because I'm coughing up blood, and then it's like, oh no, I stabbed her actually. That's a twist you didn't see coming because the way they word it, right? But now it makes more sense. Like, no, like... But it makes sense that the die sword, if you don't fully real boot it, it can't actually physically hurt you. So maybe, like, we saw them, we thought, but we didn't actually, like, fully real boot it, so it wouldn't have caused physical damage? Possibly? I don't know. There were no external wounds on Yuki Yamazoe's body. Oops, hit the wrong button. What? But that meant... What do you mean? Just what I said. There were no external wounds on Yuki Yamazoe's body. Since she was connected with the case, I had an autopsy performed, but they found no signs that she died from external trauma. In other words, Yuki Yamazoe died a natural death. No crime was committed. A natural death? But that's impossible. I killed her. You're sure about that, right? Kunosato had been mostly silent, but now she interrupted me. You real-booted your die sword and stabbed Yamazoe. You're sure about that? I'm telling you, it's true. I see. If there was one possibility, then... No, but that's... What is it? Please tell me. Kunosato's words cut off, and I stormed over to her. Yuki Yamazoe wanted to stop you from being a murderer. So she used the last of her power to real boot a delusion where she died a natural death. Or at least, that was my first thought, but... Now that she's dead, there's no way to know. Of course, if you're still in the world of her delusions, that changes things. A world of delusions. This was another delusion? The dream of the butterfly. The words came to me suddenly, and I suddenly looked up. Someone was looking at me. I looked outside the room, trying to see who it was. There was a long, dim hallway, and beyond it, there was... What's wrong, Miyashiro? No, I thought I saw someone. I thought I saw a tiny shadow. The shadow of a tiny girl holding a sword much too big for her. A shadow? But when I looked again, it was gone. And then you're like... I like how they kind of open that, like... Did you, though? Did you see her? Are we in a delusion? Or is this real and we just want to believe it's a delusion? That's some fucked up shit. Like, that one is like... That's not the true ending, but I like that one better. We come out, I mean, it's sad that she's dead, but then it's like... But then you're like, maybe we're still in a world of her delusions. Are we? Wait, I thought I saw her. Is she? Wait. Huh? That's some crazy shit. Library is what we want, right? We want to see... There's not going to be a lot of, unfortunately, probably Yamazoe, like, CGs. There's some terrifying ones here. That one, thank God the thumbprint's over it. That one's inappropriate, game. Oh, but like, oh look! I know she looks so sad, but like... Look at her little froggy backpack! Her little froggy backpack is so cute. You know, yeah, there's not a lot of... I mean, there are other ones, but I just don't know where they are. Like, where would they put... I mean, there's... Like, this one, but, like, that's it. And there was other ones. Where's the one of her fighting herself? Huh. Maybe we didn't get to it. Oh, that's true. We have several pages where we can, like... Oh, and then her shadow. This one's actually, like, really sad. Hey, look, there's our girlfriend. Like... This one's so sad, though. Like, it's so pretty, though, and it's so sad. Like, oh, I love her little froggy backpack. Look at her short pants. We look like an idiot. I love it, though. I actually kind of love our short pants with our socks sticking up. Like, took her to real length pants, please. It's like, I grew out of my pants. I just haven't gotten new ones. But yeah, that's so sad. Anyway. Yeah, none of the endings in this are really good. You know what I mean? Like, poor fucking Arimura's endings is like, we die, or we die and she drags our body into a basement somewhere and is bound with our rotting corpse. Creepy. Like, I mean, I guess Kazuki's endings are that we destroyed the world and we have a giant frickin' sumo sticker dude. But, like, we didn't die. I guess. Maybe, sorta. I mean, you know. And then Yamazoes are like, oh, we've got Kurusu next, so that's probably going to be traumatic. You know, she's probably going to die or some shit. Who knows? But we've got hers, and then we've got to get the real ending of the game, because this is obviously not, none of these are, like, real, and the first one we did was obviously not the real one either. But my cords are all tangled. Hold on. So, yeah. Let's see. Why does my fucking tablet do this sometimes? It just won't fucking, like, scroll or move. Like, hello? Work? Oh my god, such a fucking piece of shit. I wanted to actually, like, look at it, but it won't let me, like, the touchscreen isn't fucking working right now, and then now my guides are, like, just white screens. Like, I have no idea what's wrong with it. I wanted to see... Yeah, okay, that's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to, like, get this to fucking, like, load, but my freaking tablet is being a piece of shit. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, go away. Just fucking load my guides. Oh my good god. Okay, I just wanted to see her routes, and now we're... That's Ardimura. I wanted to see how many she oh, that's the true ending. Kurusu only has one. Huh. She doesn't have a bad end? Interesting. Oh, her bad end was actually cut out of the game. The delusion triggers won't affect the outcome of her route. You're free to find out more about this bad ending after finishing the game first. Well, whatever. So she has certain ones. I forget. This one doesn't say. All of them, you do positive to get to her route. And then hers starts after chapter 9. So what does the Steam guide say? All positive delusions, as well as any additional delusions you see, with 2 exceptions in chapter 3. Okay, the delusion in which you're alone with Hanai in Culture Festival, and the delusion where you're sleeping in the club room before the Culture Festival. Okay, so that was going to be a lot of skipping, because we're going to have to start at chapter 3 when we're alone with Ardimura for the Culture Festival. But at least we don't have to skip through chapters 1 and 2 again, because those ones are really long. So anyway, we will start Kurusu's route in the next part. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.